How do you learn when you can't memorize shit? Don't you hate it when you show up to class, participate in that class for an hour, they teach you a couple moves, basically 3 moves, and during that hour, you feel like, oh, maybe I have this memorized. But then when you finish with that class, you go home, and then the next day, you completely forgot what your coach or your professor taught you during that whole hour yesterday. Don't you hate it when that happens? It's like when you go to McDonald's, right? You go there, you buy a Big Mac, and you can come home and bring it home to you, and enjoy the meal. But with something like learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques, especially in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, you go home and somehow what you paid for is all of a sudden gone. Like you just wasted your time and money spending that hour trying to gain knowledge, and all of a sudden your brain's natural forgetting mechanism just gets rid of it. And it's just really annoying, especially when you're a person who can't really train consistently enough to keep retaining that information or build upon it. And it just becomes this endless cycle. You go to class, you go home, you forget that information, and then it's like kind of like rinse and repeat. And it's just really inefficient. If you could train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu without having constant memory problems getting in the way of your training to make progress, regardless, even if you're only training as little as once a week, if you could be reassured and not have to worry about forgetting precious grappling knowledge, how much of an impact would it have to your overall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training and progress? What's up, guys? Welcome to another video where I show you guys my method and how I take notes to memorize and encode as much information that I can extract from this video tutorial right here easily and efficiently without feeling cognitively overloaded or stressed out. Memorizing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques is overall hard and complex, so I made it easier for myself because I believe the more knowledge that I am able to memorize and retain effectively, the more efficient and enriching it becomes to build skill from that knowledge by using kinesthetic learning later on when I get the chance to train at my gym. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kinesthetic learning is all about learning through movement and hands-on practice. So instead of just watching someone demonstrate a technique or listening to instructions, you learn by physically drilling moves, rolling with a partner, and feeling how your body and your opponent's body reacts. This type of learning helps build muscle memory, improves timing, and develops an intuitive understanding of techniques through repetition in real-life applications during sparring. So whatever type of kinesthetic learning or methods there are in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whether it is ecological or the traditional way of training, I believe my method can make the experience to do them even more efficient and enriching thing to do. Back when I was a beginner grappler, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every time was a constant struggle because I had constant memory problems. So I at least want to get over that bad type of struggle of always having memory fog or forgetting when it comes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques, and start having a good type of struggle where I finally reached to a point of having enough foundational knowledge built to actually have fun and improve from my struggles that I may face on the mats. I believe acquiring knowledge is the first step to developing skill. The second step is knowledge with practice comes skill, and I use my method to help me build the knowledge faster and easier so that I can have more time, energy, and enjoyment to put to practice to develop the skill more efficiently for myself. Think of it like learning a language. Immersion is key, but having a structured way to remember the vocabulary helps make speaking and adapting to real conversations easier. I am hoping my method helps practitioners retain techniques easier so that they can spend more time and energy on execution rather than struggle to remember. To get the full detail on everything about my method, I have a 4-hour video explaining everything about it, my reasons for making it, how it works, and all about the learning methods that I use and combine together to create this one method to memorize Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques easier. So check it out. But overall, I considered my method to be like a study tool to help me memorize Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques anytime and anywhere I want without needing to drill or show up to my gym. Show me a technique and I'll show you guys how I memorize it. For this video, I'll be checking out the powerful armbar escape for white belts with Mahamed Aly, and this is from Jiu-Jitsu on YouTube. Here I have my Anki app open, ready to start my method. I already have the front of the card filled out with the source and the name. Again, the source is YouTube, channel is Jiu-Jitsu, and the name is powerful armbar escape for white belts with Mahamed Aly. Now it's time to work on the back of the card where I start my process. For this process, I'll be using two different types of learning methods called chunking and the pattern method, where first I break the large complex information that I am confronted with in this video tutorial right here into more smaller simple pieces by using the chunking method. And then second, arrange those pieces into a different form where it becomes like a puzzle for my brain to naturally solve to figure out for the answer by using the pattern method. I find that doing these two different types of things of breaking the large complex information into simple ideas and then turning those simple ideas into questions for my brain to figure out by putting all the pieces back together to get to the answer, I find it really helps me memorize Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques like crazy. Again, like I always say, in every other video that I've made, the reason for this type of process that I do is that it gets me constantly thinking and making connections throughout the whole time I do it. Because the more I can get my brain to think and make connections with the complex grappling material of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques, the more likely I'm able to convince my brain to deem them valuable and have a higher chance for them to enter my long-term memory much faster and easier. That I don't feel stressed out or confused at the end of the process, that whatever grappling knowledge I just threw inside my head for the first time will stay long term and will not be easily forgettable, that I feel very well prepared and excited to go put them to practice immediately whenever I get the chance to train at my gym. Anyways, let's get started.
I'm here with
Oops, I need to connect this to my headphones first before we get started. There we go. Okay, let's get started.
Mahamed Aly, and he's in here with us for a couple days doing some training, and while he's here we're doing some videos together, so I definitely wanted to get a chance to pick his brain about a few things. So he's gonna jump on with us today and show some like a really cool detail for an armbar escape. So brother, thank you for coming in, and take it away. Yeah,
thank you very much, man. I subscribed to this guy's channel.
I'm subscribed to this guy's channel too, even though I can't understand everything. I watch some of the techniques from time to time.
I was watching that you posted some details for arm bars, and then I was like, oh, maybe I can go together and put some more content for people to understand arm bars. And since like you say better like getting arm bars for white belts, if I'm not mistaken. So if we're talking about white belts, I don't wanna be on white belts, but they're usually not gonna be attacking. They're gonna be defending.
Sure,
yeah. You know? And
that's basically true. I always find myself in the armbar situation. I think that's the most like position that I always end up at, and it's always frustrating. That's why I chose this video, because you know it's always good to add more armbar escapes to my arsenal to work with whenever I'm trying to defend myself against my opponents or my rolling partners who put me into that situation.
First, in the beginning, you're learning to survive.
Yeah, that's my thing. When I was a white belt, I used to pop my arm every practice. Because I didn't like to tap. I wanted to get out so bad, and then I would be going home like this, you know.
Oh.
But nowadays, I've been studying a lot. You know, I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for 10 years now, and I have some stuff that I do differently. You know, a lot of people do a lot of stuff, and I have my things too. So I wanna share with you guys now.
Cool.
Can we?
Let's do it, brother.
Sometimes we're gonna be here. You have a lot of different ways to defend, right? Some people like to have the.
Okay, hold on. Let me just see where he starts. Okay, timestamp is 134. So again, timestamps are important to add at the end of the line of code that I always wrote, because they are used as reference just in case of the line of code that I wrote is too hard to decipher, or that I completely forgot what it means during the reviewing process. This way I can look for the part that I'm missing more easily. Let's see. Okay, I need to start with a situational blocks. Again, guys, if you haven't watch my other previous videos, situational blocks are basically used as a way to indicate different types of scenarios and applications that a technique can be used in the video tutorial. Okay, so first timestamp is 134. Oops, not an equal sign. 134, and let's see. So we're obviously starting in a bad position. So step one is the first line of code, is the first section. So how would I describe this? NP for non-positional equals tese point equals warning equals go over plus go over. Now go over plus go over, put a 2 there. So remember, the 2 next to the blocks are basically indicating that my opponent's doing the go over plus go over. And what I mean, how I interpret this, well, this is how I interpret the legs. This is how I give enough information for my brain to work with to tell me, hey, what does go over plus go over mean? It's meaning these 2 legs are over my body. And what else he has is my arm. He has my arm restraint. So go over plus keep safe, 2 equals restrain. He's restraining me, so I always had to add the 2 at the end of the block. Equals take opportunity equals ATT 2 is less than. Remember, less than signs or greater signs are basically a way to indicate a conflict in relationships between the blocks. Less than sign is me trying to express that I better act quick, you know, like he could do this, he could attack me with an armbar, and the less sign is meaning, okay, well, it won't work unless I do this, okay? So act quick. Always, if you're in this kind of situation, you gotta act quick, you gotta get out of it.
You have a lot of different ways to defend, right? Some people like to have this little grip. Some other people like to grab their own lapels and also do this. You have a lot of different ways to defend, right? Some people like to...
Okay, well, he's giving that advice. So 136 to indicate for defending. Defensive position equals, let's see, what was the first one?
To have this little grip.
Okay, go over plus keep safe. I think that should be enough. I don't know, well, he does say it's like a figure 4, so I'll put a code called state of mind. Try and imagine is a figure 4. That's how I kind of see it. Equals by time.
Grip. Some other people like to grab their own lapel.
140. I should put optional. Yes, right here. Optional equals this, equals defensive position, equals make use of, MUO, make use of. Basically, if I'm wearing a gi, I'm making use of the collar to grab, to defend against that armbar, of course. Equals keep safe, equals buy time.
And also do this. Because I was doing a lot of MMA in 2012, I developed this grip right here. You know, hand-to-hand grip.
150. Okay, optional. Okay, DP equals keep safe plus keep safe equals, I feel like I should add more because I don't think this keep safe plus keep safe block is enough. Maybe for in the future when I go back to review this card, I feel like my brain needs a little more hints, more clues to work with. This is not enough. So what could maybe I should add a GR for grip. Yeah, I could do that. Equals by time. Okay, so let's go over what I have wrote so far. So let's explain these sections. Sections are basically part of steps. They are lines of code, and the first section is always, again, the line of code with a step block in front of it. And any lines of code that doesn't have a step block in it automatically falls under the step block above it. So you see these 3 lines of code, optional, optional, optional. They automatically fall under the step block 1 since they don't have a step block on their own. And these are basically branches to a tree. Just think of it that way. But yeah, and this is how I would count the sections with the step block. So step block 1, section 1. It's always the first section. And then the second section is right here, third section, fourth section. Okay? Now let's explain, before we get even further, let's explain the equal signs and the plus signs. So let's go with the equal signs are basically a way to convey the outcome of the blocks. Basically carrying over a single idea or combinations of ideas and lead the thinking and visualization of those ideas into the main idea or bigger picture. So optional equals defensive position, leading this block to the main idea is, oh, I'm defending the position, that's why it's optional. Then leading to thinking and visualization to go over keep safe. And then for these adding and these parentheses, the parentheses signs are a way to group the blocks when necessary. So any blocks that fall in between the parentheses signs are a way to combine them together into one block. So for this first section, I would count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If there were no parentheses signs, again, I would count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that's how. The reasons why I use the parentheses signs is usually for organization purpose, the organization of thinking. And it really helps, especially when I'm making linking blocks, which I will explain later on throughout the video. But overall, this is why I use the parentheses signs. The plus signs are basically a way to express the combining of blocks, meaning the combining of ideas together to guide the visualization and thinking into the right direction. So yeah, I hope that's enough explanation for me to give you guys to figure it out.
Just basic, but I love to be here because I don't feel that they can choke me or anything like that. And I don't know, I just feel good right here. So if you do, great. If you don't, you can do from different grips too. What happens is that they're gonna be trying to collapse my grips, right?
Okay, so since we're starting from this section of code, this is where we're continuing off from, I need to make it clear for my brain to think that way. So this is a new situational block. So I'm gonna be using, so first, obviously, is a timestamp. Okay, there you go, timestamps. I'm gonna show you guys the linking block. So step 1 plus, here's my first linking block. It's from situational 1, okay, right here. Then we're going to go to, it's going to be part of step 1. Oops, I forgot this little thing. Okay. And then we're going to go to, okay, 1, the first section, 2, second section, 3, third section, and fourth section. So S4 is my, is where I'm going down to. And which blocks in the fourth section? Well, all of them. So I put every block. There you go. This is where I'm basically branching my thinking off from. So this is what linking blocks are used for, is to use to link specific steps and sections of blocks together with other steps and sections throughout the code. So again, if I have a line of code that I want to continue my thinking or branch off from, linking blocks will help me do that.
Boom, 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 yeah. So now they want to extend my arm, of course, and get the tap or break my arms.
Okay, yeah.
So what I want now, as soon as I feel they're going to collapse my grips, I want to create a little space, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as he collapse my grip, I want to get my body parallel to his body. So as soon as he get in there.
All right, let's just start with 231, okay? Okay, step 2 plus anticipate opponent equals take away 2 equals is less than act quick equals transition plus go around plus sweet spot equals IL. Okay, IL is basically in line. If I'm going around to be parallel to this guy, right? It's basically to give me a hint like, oh, we need to be like somewhere parallel or in line together, if that makes sense. That's how I kind of use the knee ball.
I'm gonna walk, 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 all the way parallel.
Yep, like that, all the way parallel.
Right? So now it's a little harder for him to get leverage to break.
Okay, so how would I describe this? It would be like a, almost like a halfway safety position. Okay, that should be good. Remember guys, how I approach doing this, again, this is a good analogy I always like to use to explain my process. Have you ever played that game where you hold up a word or picture above your forehead? You don't know what the word or picture is, so you rely on the other players to give you hints to figure it out. So if someone had a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques called the Kimura from side mount, how would you describe it or hint it to them without being too obvious or descriptive? Your goal is to constantly keep them thinking and making connections until they finally figure out the answer on their own. That's basically what I am doing to myself when I make these blocks to be used for coding a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu technique. I use these blocks to really give the technique more of a simple context approach to help my brain to work with, to memorize easier. If you're wondering why I'm always kind of be like, oh, anticipated warning as I'm typing these blocks out, like I'm kind of a little autistic about it. That's literally just my process of thinking, of taking this information that I am confronted with and turning them into simple ideas.
To break my arm. But most people now they're gonna try to sit up, right? Now.
Wait a minute. Give me a second. I just lost my train of thought.
It's a
there.
little harder for him to get leverage to break.
Halfway. Okay, and also make harder. There you go. That's
break my arm. But most people now they're gonna try to sit up, right? Now it's bad because now they're gonna have this hook behind my head.
Oh, okay. So that's why. 254. So we should add that as a warning. Warning equals very common, because you know most people, that's what he just said, would try to sit up equals jump up equals into his opponent plus equals take advantage to equals ATT 2.
And now I'm stuck here forever. You know, unless I'm super flexible and can take it. Most people don't. You know, so what I'm gonna do is that as soon as it collapses, or as soon as I feel he's about to collapse my grip, I'm gonna have a little bump over here, just so I can have this space to get my hand controlling his shin.
Oh.
Right here. I like to be here because now.
Oh, okay. Well, he didn't specify that, so I have to add that.
Just so I can.
Okay, so 318. Okay, how about this? We'll add this. 318 dash bring up equals make space. There we go. So that makes a lot more sense. And it's plus go under plus keep safe. That's plus take opportunity equals transition ground in line. Okay, there we go. So that's how I would describe it as. I'm gonna put.
I can have this space to get my hand controlling his shin.
Okay, 323. This is how I'm gonna put it right here. 323. There you go. And there you go.
Right here. I like to be here because now when I walk, there's no more hook behind my neck, right? And that's the first thing I don't want. I think for this kind of position, it's just like defending the guillotine. Sometimes people get you in a guillotine and you get so worried about your neck that they eventually gonna get your neck. So from here, they got your arm already. You know, it's gone. So you have to make everything else so you can create some space. But if you keep worrying about your arm, they're probably gonna get you, you know? So now as soon as my arm is extended already, I don't have much to do now. So now I'm gonna push this away, keep walking parallel, my arm is there. I'm just trying to create some space, right? So now as soon as I get here, all the way parallel, I want to get up and defend the armbar because it's still the trap here. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna come from here to his knee. Now I keep pushing it away. I want to escape my hip a little bit. So now,
Oh, okay. Hold on.
what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna come from here to his knee. Now I keep pushing it away. I want to escape my hip a little bit.
This should be actually part of step 3. Yeah, let's just do that. Step 3 plus take van attack.
So now here to his knee. Now I keep pushing it away.
Okay. Better way. Okay, this is the better way, okay? Equals.
I want to escape my hip a little bit.
Okay, so there we go. I would describe that as is move back plus go low equals preferred position. Okay.
So now I can come up.
445. 445. This is step 4 plus.
Usually good people, they're not gonna let, they're not gonna let you just pass their guard. They're gonna go back to the guard. So now I can come up.
Okay, take opportunity equals jump up equals preferred position plus safety position. There you go.
Usually good people, they're not gonna let, they're not gonna let you just pass their guard. They're gonna go back to the guard. But you have to watch out for the triangle when you get up. So here, boom, collapse. I'm feeling already. Boom, I get here. Boom, get here. Boom. So now that's when you gotta watch out for the triangle. You know, they're gonna try to triangle you. So you either can put both hands inside or come back, or you can pull the other one.
Oh, okay. That is interesting. Yeah, I never seen this type of armbar escape before. The first effective armbar escape I always kept trying to use was from Steven, who was it? I forgot his name, but it involves me in being an armbar, but instead of like doing this, or doing the, I guess the hitchhiker escape. I'm not really a big fan of the hitchhiker escape. I always grab my freaking armpit of my leg to hold by time, and I grab this leg that's over my face and I push it back behind my head. Once this leg's behind my head, I get my arm right here and try to grab wherever I can on my opponent, or just do wherever I can to get up from that situation to be in in their guard. But the problem was that it worked for a while, but then eventually my training partners understood how that escape would work, and eventually instead of me going to their guard or whatever, right, they constantly got my back. So this is actually like a really good escape to add to my arsenal, just for a last ditch effort. But I realized over time it's better to prevent those situations in the first place. It's like the idea of me deciding, hey, I'm gonna jump into that trap and I'm gonna press you guys by getting out of that trap. And that's cool for a while, but people are like, come on man, you could just walk around that trap. You see that trap, you recognize it, why constantly jump into that trap? So now my mindset is like, okay, actually prevent those traps, going into those traps in the first place. But if I do fall into that trap, it's always good to have like as much knowledge to get out of that trap if I do find myself in it.
One back. Now it's gonna be a 5 for better positioning and stuff, but that's...
Oh shoot, I forgot. I just went on a tangent again.
So now that's when you gotta watch out for the triangle.
So 509 is the timestamp, and this is gonna be a new situation. Situation number 3. And here you go. Step 1, use a linking block. Okay, linking block continues off from situation 2, from step 4. Step 4, line of code section is section 1, because step 4 only has section 1, and it's every block. Plus, which one is he going? Anticipate opponent equals warning equals ATT2 is less than act quick. So this one,
they're gonna try to triangle you. So you either can put both hands inside or...
Okay, so act quick. So what he says, 513, yeah. 513, there we go. Step 2 plus go under plus post spot. That's what he's doing. He's going under his leg. Post spot equals, so the outcome is post spot plus post spot. Here's another outcome. Being in someone's guard, okay, I would say it's a better position, okay? Maybe I can get away with this.
Or, come back, or you can pull.
Or 516. 516. Situational number 4. Again, blocks are basically abbreviations that convey movement, imagination, signifiers, and any ideas that I can use to relate and turn complex information into simple ideas. These blocks are basically, they're not too specific or detailed. It only gives enough information to nudge my thinking into the right direction, giving the brain enough clues to get the brain to logically guess and connect it with the correct way of thinking that fits the context of the technique being demonstrated in the video tutorial. Command V. So I just added that linking block to this situation. Yeah, I should probably do that. Just goes warning equals ATT2 less than act quick. Act quick. So that's where we're starting. 516.
The other one, watch out for the triangle. You know, they're gonna try to triangle you. So you either can put both hands inside or, come back, or you can pull.
Okay, 517. Let's just do that. 517. 2 plus this grip right here. I want to make sure I have that. Okay, so let's do another linking block. Situation number 2, because I really want to describe this keep safe. I'll go situation 2, step 2. Section 1 dash. All right, so to narrow down specifically what block. So step 2, anticipation opponent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The 5th block right here. Plus make use of that grip. Equals push away plus hold towards equals take away equals escape equals safety position. Yeah, okay, there you go.
The other one back. Now it's gonna be a 5 for better positioning and stuff, but that's one thing that I love to do it. I remember Roger defend the armbar, he always do that kind of thing, and it's crazy how people can get his arm, even strong people. You know, so I started watching it, I was like purple belt back in the day, and I was like, oh my God, that's good. You know, it works for gi or no gi, if you have MMA gloves, doesn't matter, you know, so that's something that I love to do.
Okay guys, I think that's really it for the video. Maybe if there's more detail, let's see.
Out and put you in a half guard.
Oh my, I think that's the armbar escape that I always use. Hold on, let me see.
Sometimes when I'm here, I'm gonna just get my elbow here. So instead of pushing in a way, let you get my arm extended. I'm gonna just turn my hips out and put you in a half guard right here.
Okay.
Boom. So here, even if you get there, it's easier for me to, you know, create space to get out.
Okay. So if you look from here, so what I was describing earlier when I was using this always like armbar escape that I always use, it's like when here, right? When I'm here, they always let go of that foot and put it under the head, and they always try to get my back. So that's why I kind of thought about not using that escape no more and start trying to find different other ways. But I think his approach from that position is quite different, and I might try, you know, instead of like we're using this arm to get up from the guard and they put me in the back for somehow, I'll get my elbow and try to hip my hips back and pull that arm and get the elbow under the hips.
Okay.
Boom. So here, even if you get there, it's easier for me to, you know, create space to get out. You know, so that's the second one.
Okay, so this is the second one. Okay. You know what? I'll add that.
Or, since I already know my grip, I do another stuff like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm
6 o'clock. I mean 6:00. So that's the next time. Situational 5. We'll start with yeah, we'll copy this right here. So this is where now the link block goes. Command C, Command V, and timestamp is 6:00. Step 1 plus that.
when I'm here, I'm gonna just get my elbow here.
6:03. 6:03. Step 2 plus make use of equals go under plus sweet spot equals prepare.
So instead of pushing in a way, let you get my arm extended, I'm gonna just turn my hips out.
6:12. 6:12. Step 3, move back, plus go low, equal, and this makes it easier, plus take opportunity equals go under, plus go over, plus keep safe, if equals close the position, plus restrain.
And put you in a half guard right here.
Okay.
Boom. So here, even if you get there, it's easier for me to, you know, create space.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Boom. So here, even if you get there, it's easier for me to
6:17. 6:17. 4 plus.
you know, create.
So he's moving back, he's turning the other way, move back, plus make space, plus, this is one movement 2, equals transition, plus look at. So looking, LA is looking at, basically he's turning, he's looking at this guy, so that's how I would utilize this block. And this is IL equals halfway plus preferred position.
Space to get out, you know, so that's the second one I do.
And equals take opportunity equals escape. 6:17.
That's my main one, trying to get people in a half guard.
Okay, so I think that should be it. So after I finally converted all this information that I learned from this video tutorial right here into this code form, having the new information fresh in my head to prevent this new information from spoiling, the last process I do is that I use the Anki app right here to help me review and increase my retention of the information by using a method called spaced repetition. That way I don't have to worry about forgetting what I just memorized. It could be weeks to months to even years. years. It wouldn't matter because this method will make sure I won't forget it in the long run, as long as I'm consistent with it, of course. So I'm gonna be pressing the adding button. There you go. It's in the card slot. So here's, for example, study now. Just pretend that this card is from this video tutorial, okay? Just ignore this. But anyways, this is how I review the information. So whenever I open the ink app and this card happens to pop up for this video tutorial, I immediately reveal the back of the card and I try to read and decipher the code. If I have a successful review of being able to read and decipher the code that I find satisfying enough, then I increase the interval. And here are basically the 4 options I got. Right here. I increase the interval by pressing good or easy, right? And that'll increase the interval by 1.6 months or either 2.1 month, okay? Now, if I fail to read and decipher the code, I decrease the interval, and you can see right here, it was hard. I feel like it wasn't enough. My satisfactory with the reviewing process card was not satisfactory. So I either press hard and it'll show up again 1 month, or I press again and it'll show up 15 minutes later. And so far, I find great results with using this process of spaced repetition to help me review my knowledge on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tutorials. This is how it basically works, guys, and that's really it. So if you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it that you guys giving me a chance to explain the process. And overall, yeah, again, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you up on the next video. So peace out.